Yes, in the previous video we discussed about simple present tense. I asked you to pay attention or observe the structure of simple present tense. Whenever am is are am is are have has, these auxiliaries are performing as main verb and they are used to construct a sentence of simple present tense. How the sentences look like I have already given you. Besides this, let us see where exactly this simple present tense is used. In order to discuss about repeated actions, fact, schedule event in future, universal truth, commentary, imperative sentences, simple present tense is used. Nobody will ask you the use of where simple present tense is used, but actually you have to use simple present tense. And as I said, in day-to-day language most of the time simple present tense is used, and that's why you need to be well versed with simple present tense. And in order to identify the tense of the given sentence, there are certain markers, and these markers will tell you whether the sentence is of simple present tense or no. For example, the markers are always, habitual, action, useful action, sometimes, useful action, never, useful action, whenever, useful, usually. So they talks about, these are the markers. They tell you that the sentence has to be in simple present tense, or if one of them is there in a given sentence, then you can definitely say that this is the sentence of simple present tense. And the next one is present continuous tense. Let me ask you a very simple question. What exactly are you doing right now? The answer would be that you are watching this video. So the action which is going on right now, in order to convey this particular action or the sense of action, we use present continuous tense. See, I am watching a video about tenses. See this picture. Birds are flying. Pay attention to are, am, and is. These auxiliary verbs, they are to be present tense form. So this auxiliary tells that it is in present tense, and if the ing form of the verb is used, it tells that it is in continuous tense. So auxiliary tells about present, and ing form of the action word tells continuous. It's a present continuous tense, and it is very easy to identify. And let me tell you, we Indians are very good in using present continuous tense. So these are the examples. As I said, am, is, are, these to be present tense forms are used. They are the auxiliaries of present tense. They are used to frame the sentences of present continuous tense. But see, singular, first person singular, am, but first person plural, the auxiliary are. So we should have that much of sense whether to use is, are, or am. Is third person singular. We need to pay attention to this first of all. But there is one condition in English, that only the dynamic verbs they are used in ing forms, but the stative verbs are not. Now stative verbs, I have given you the list of them, like look, seem, recognize. You cannot say understanding, you cannot say wanting. These are stative verbs. They are not used in ing form. But the dynamic verbs like cook, make, we can use them like cooking and making. So make sure that you understand this. See, if you use ing form of this in Indian scenario, nobody will object it, because most of the people fail to identify that this is stative verb. But if you go and talk in front of the expert, or maybe there might be any question where they have committed an error by using this particular stative verb in ing form, and they might have asked you identify the error. Sometimes we don't understand it, like I am looking at the object. Here obviously there is nothing wrong, but when we know that look is the stative verb which cannot be used in ing form, if we know this, then we will identify the error. And that's why please pay attention that only dynamic verbs they are used in ing forms, and stative verbs they are not. We are talking about present continuous tense. This is what use of present continuous tense is. Action which is happening, future plans, sometimes, which is new and contrasting. See, we Indians are very good in using present continuous tense. I have given you the different scenarios or the situation in which we use present continuous tense. I have given you certain examples. Please go through and have your own sentences. The next tense is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense tells you that the action is over somewhere in the past. Recently, it is over. For example, I have visited Taj Mahal many times. They have started. He has played. See, have and has, these two haves, present tense forms, they have been used over here. And past participle of the action word. We all know what is meant by past participle because we have already discussed it when we talked about verb. Past participle verb is used in perfect tense. And here have and has, these are two haves present tense form. So to identify whether the sentence is in present perfect or not, these things will help you. That is auxiliary verb and the past participle of the action word. If it is in past participle form, it is perfect. If it is in present tense form, it is present perfect tense. You need to know that past participle action word. If you do not know, because irregular verbs, there is no rule how to frame or how to form a past participle or past form. You have to simply observe them and remember them. So this is what the use of present perfect tense is. Like, I have taught English grammar for decade for something that has started in the past and continues in the present. When we are talking about our experience up to the present, like this, most of us have seen ups and downs in life. So please make sure that there are some markers they describe that it is present perfect tense or it has to be present perfect tense. The markers are recently, just, so far, until, now, yet, up to. So either of them, any one of them, if it is there in a given sentence, or if you want to use one of them, make sure that you are going to frame the sentence of present perfect tense. Otherwise, most of the time, if we can simply pass the meaning that we want to pass and we feel happy about it, but in a structure we commit errors. The next tense is present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense, it gives that the action is over somewhere in the past, but even in present it is continuous, it is going on. In order to talk or in order to give this sense of time, we use present perfect continuous tense. For example, we have been watching. As I said, ing form of the verb, it is a continuous tense. Past participle, it is perfect. And present tense forms have, it tells that it is present. So present perfect continuous tense, and it is used for the action that started somewhere in the past, but even today at present it is continuous. The next tense is past tense. Past tense gives the idea that the action is over, that it is that existed previously. For example, they went to a forest. They were walking on a grassy land. They had taken 3 liters of water with them. They had been walking for 4 hours. This is a quite, a short story that I could write. But see the structure. They went. This is the past form of go. As I said, verb is the heart of English language. It is going to haunt you throughout English grammar. This is what I wanted to say. Go, went. When the past form is used, it is simple past. Was and were to be past tense form. Were. Here, they is the plural, third person plural, and that's why were. Had it be he, it would have been he was walking. Here it is plural, and that's why were. It tells that it is past, ing, continuous. So it is past continuous tense. They had taken. Had is the past form of have. So it indicates past, and taken is the past participle of take, took, taken. So it is perfect. So it is past perfect. And look at this. Had been walking. Had tells past. Been is the perfect, and walking ing. That is continuous. So past perfect continuous tense. So past tense gives us the idea of action that is over somewhere in the past itself. This is simple past. Simple past is used to talk about the things that happened or existed before now. For example, what you ate or what did you eat yesterday. You say, I ate dinner or I ate chapati bhaji or something like that. So this is what it talks about, that the action is over somewhere in the past itself. What did you do yesterday? I played soccer. See the picture. So again, past form of the verb is used, and that's why it is simple past tense. Please pay attention to the sentences and try to use them. What is the use of simple past tense? Completed action in the past. He watched a movie yesterday. A series of completed actions. Actually, this is in Marathi, and that I have simply translated in English or tried to translate it in English. Like he came, he saw, he fought, he conquered. Continuously in sequence, the actions have taken place. Action is over. Habits in the past, like I played cricket for 8 hours a day, and it is a fact. When I was a youngster, that time I used to play cricket 8 hours. So used to play and simple past, the meaning is same. Past facts or generalizations. She was not confident as a child. You know all your friends now. If they are grown up and what were their habits in the past, you can mention through this particular simple past tense. The next one is past continuous tense. As I said, continuous means it is going on, and past means in the past. So it refers to a continuing action or a state that was happening at some point in the past itself. For example, I was walking by the seashore. They were playing on the ground. You pay attention to these auxiliary verbs. Was, it is because the subject is singular. They were. Were, it is because the subject is plural. So if you get this much of sense, the work is done. Ing form, it is always used in continuous tense, as I said. So use of past continuous tense. Interrupted action in the past. I was writing something on a paper when I saw him. Specific time and as an interruption. Parallel actions, atmosphere. So these are the different situations wherein we can use past continuous tense. But as I said, please pay attention to the structure like was and where and ing form of the verb and use it in your sentences. Then comes past perfect tense. It shows that in past itself the action was over. In the past itself. For example, he had taken medicine. We had solved the problem. Had is the to have's past tense form, and taken or solved, they are the past participle. And past participle form of the verb is used in perfect tense. Had is the past tense form. So past perfect. Action is already over somewhere in the past itself. In order to give that sense, past perfect tense is used. So this is what the use of past perfect tense. It is also very easy because there is one auxiliary verb, that is had, we use. Past perfect continuous tense. In the past itself, the action started somewhere and up to certain point it was continuous. In order to give this sense, past perfect continuous tense is used. For example, we had been listening the session for 10 years. Means before 10 years somewhere we started, and up to continuously up to 10 minutes we were listening. In order to give this sense, we had been listening the session for 10 minutes. See the structure. Had, to have's past tense form. Been is the past participle of be, so perfect. Ing form of the verb listen, listening, so continuous. So past perfect continuous. See the next one. It had been running crazily. Had, past tense. Been, perfect. Running, continuous. So past perfect continuous tense. Make sure that you use it properly. Now use of past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. Duration before something, that I had been waiting at bus stand for 2 hours. They gained weight during lockdown because they have not been exercising. Actually here it has to be had, because we are talking about past perfect tense. So please make sure that we are using or assuming had over here. The next tense is future tense. It talks about an action that has not yet happened or stayed. It is very easy, and modal auxiliaries like shall and will we use. What will you do tomorrow? I will go to play cricket, or I will go to my college, or I will fill up my admission form. Anything you can fill in. So simple future tense. It talks about the future action. It promises something or it predicts something. Definitely I will finalize the deal, or he will finalize the deal. So the deal is talked about. Then comes use of simple future. We can go through. Express a voluntary action, express a promise, or express prediction. Future continuous tense, it talks about the action which will be continuous in future itself, which is yet to happen. So we will be talking about narration in next video.